Now, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NECC. My name is Jaron Bell. Welcome to Championship Sunday, and my goodness, I am joined here by the one and only, the man himself, Jim Lowry. What is up, Jim? How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Jaron. How are you doing today?
Man, if I was any better, I would look and feel like you look. My goodness, you look dapper, my friend. And I tell you what, not only does Jim look good today, but I know that he's as excited as I am because it is Championship Sunday in the championship division of Rocket League. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to see Illinois Wesleyan University, the #1 seed, face off against the Durham Lords at the #2 seed, and it is going to be unbelievable. Jim, one of the things that I think is most exciting about these matches, it's always good to see the 1 and the 2 seed, but there was a little heat coming into this match. Both of these teams, one team said, you know what, I want to get into this, and we're ready to see, we want to see Durham in the finals. And Durham said, you know, we don't know if Illinois Wesleyan deserves to be with us. And so there is a rivalry here at the NECC. What can you touch on, and what are you expecting from today's game?
You know, I'm looking at it. I heard the interview from Vitaly of Durham. He was really looking forward to getting to the finals. He really thinks that Durham is going to have a pretty easy road here. So let's see if Illinois Wesleyan can be the speed bump on that road, or maybe just be the do not enter sign, and see if Illinois Wesleyan maybe could just turn Durham around and take what Durham wants away from them.
Well, and ladies and gentlemen, you have a full slate of NECC action coming your way today. It starts off with this Rocket League final, and then we will rotate to the Overwatch Champions Division final, as you're going to see Boise State facing off against Midland University. It's going to be unbelievable. And then in the evening, prime time is game time, as you'll see my main man Jim Lowry facing off like you're facing off. Well, you are facing off a little bit with our main man Ethan Dahl, and it's always a bit of a showdown when you two are on screen together, but in a good way. And Jim, can you give us a tiny preview on the League of Legends Champions Division final that's going to be tonight and round out the NECC season?
Tonight we're looking at Illinois Wesleyan, who's playing here in Rocket League. They've got 2 teams in championships today. So Illinois Wesleyan is the #1 seed in the Champions Division 4 League of Legends. They'll be going up against Midland, who's in our Overwatch championship here. So out of 3 championships today, 2 schools are in 2 championships. Really like to see it. Those schools are just at the top of their game across the board. As far as League of Legends tonight is concerned, Illinois Wesleyan, the heavy favorite, but we're all waiting to see if Midland can come in and play spoiler. Scuzzrat in the top lane. He wants to play the best. He thinks he is the best. So we're going to see if he can pull it forward for his team.
Well, and that's going to be a great, unbelievable matchup tonight. But I tell you what, the action, you're not going to have to wait to the end of the evening to get fantastic action, as this Illinois Wesleyan versus Durham match. This is a heated rivalry, and it is going to be unbelievable to watch in this best of 7 series. I cannot wait to get this game started. But I do want to remind you that all of the NECC action today is brought to you by our proud partners. Thank you to our friends at Helix Esports for all they do for us behind the scenes. MetaPro Gaming. MetaPro Gaming built our website, and if you have any esports arena needs, reach out to our friends at MetaPro Gaming. Of course, if you are on Twitch or you're involved in esports, check out Really, one of the best Twitch clip generation softwares that I've ever seen. Go check out our friends at Really, the NFL Alumni Association, everyone over there. And of course, ESTV. ESTV is the proud linear TV partner of the NECC, now available on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio. There are tons of options that you can download their platform and check out esports action from around the globe, and including all of these NECC playoffs and championships on ESTV. And Jim, last but not least, all of the championships that you are seeing today is brought to you by HyperX. HyperX, some of the best gear in gaming, now comes to the NECC. HyperX, not only the sponsor of the casters here at the NECC, but as well with the champions matchups, and will be giving away each team member from the winning championship team will get their choice of some HyperX gaming products. So we are so grateful to our friends at HyperX for bringing us this gameplay. Jim, and as I come to you here, we're getting very close to game time. You and I are going to be watching this behind the scenes as we have some amazing casters on the call. But Jim, what are you needing? Bottom line, not even if it's Rocket League centric. Let's talk about this Rocket League game, but it's Championship Sunday for you and your squad. You've been in championship situations. You've been in intense situations. What is going through the minds of the coaches and the players as it's Championship Sunday here at the NECC?
You just have to be ready for what's about to happen. We talk about a lot on the League of Legends streams, the mental side, and we talked about it yesterday for the Valorant Championship, or on Friday for the Valorant Championship, the mental side. And we saw a reverse sweep in the Valorant final. And you got to think that team had to be really low after match number 1, match number 2, going down 0-2 there. And just their mental, after having been up a 10-3, 11-4 in match number 1 and turning around and losing match number 1 in extra rounds, and just how you had to pick yourself back up. You had to get back to it. So that's what we're looking at here. Rocket League, it's such a short match, 5-minute rounds here in this best of 7 for Rocket League. If you go down 0-1 or 0-2, you don't have a lot of time to turn yourself around. So you just have to keep your mental game strong. You have to keep focused on what you're doing. You can't let the setbacks change your strategy. You can't let the setbacks force you into a position you don't want to be in. You just have to remember, you got to play your game, the game that got you here, and you just have to keep moving forward.
Well, and this has been a tournament and a season where we have seen underdogs come up and play well. When it started here in Rocket League specifically, we saw St. Ambrose University take down the 2 seed. We saw all these unbelievable matches. I mean, then last night with League of Legends in the Challengers division, we saw an underdog in that match win the national championship. So my question to you is, I don't think, I mean, some might call Durham an underdog, but just because they're the 2 seed, it doesn't make them an underdog. But how do you think this game's going to swing with both these teams?
I mean, Vitaly from Durham the other day on stream on the interview, he was very, very certain. I believe he actually asked the casting crew, he said, well, Durham swept our semis. Did Illinois Wesleyan sweep theirs? If that's not just showing you the confidence that Vitaly has in himself and his team, I really don't know what does. I think we're going to be in for a smash mouth best of 7 here. I think this one might go the distance.
Well, and it just absolutely might. I think we were just waiting on a couple players. My producer will let us know when we are close to get you to that game. But while we're waiting to do that, we are going to get you. We would like to remind you to follow us on social media at NECC Games. Again, that is NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates, announcements, and giveaways. The end of our HyperX giveaway comes today. So it is going to be an unbelievable afternoon. And if you want to follow along with all the action, highlights, and everything going on, you can follow us on Twitter to make that possible. Jim, listen, Jim, I'd love. You have a very unique opinion here, and this is why I'm so excited to get to this pregame with you today, because not only have you casted at a very high level, have you casted here at the NECC, but also big shout out Upper Iowa, right? So big shout out to you guys. So, but on the coaching level, right? So you're at the collegiate space. You've had teams in these NECC playoffs. So my question comes to you this. It's more of what has been your experience here at the NECC, Jim?
I really like what the NECC is trying to push forward. They came out of nowhere. Honestly, they came out of nowhere. The commissioner of the conference himself called me to ask if the Peacocks wanted to be involved. That's how this was just going fly by night kind of, and they have really exploded here. And then they asked me to do some casting for them, and I'm like, sure, because I do casting for Upper Iowa, and I didn't know what to expect. And just the level of production involved here, the fact that we're sitting here at an analyst desk getting ready for the match to start, and then we have separate casters getting ready to go. You've got 4 personalities here for one match. This is just one match out of 3 today, and we're going to have an analyst desk for maybe all 3 of them to go along with the casters. So just the production value. My other job here on campus is the video producer and the game day operations manager for all of our broadcasting for our television contract here at Upper Iowa. But looking at this, it's basically the same thing I'm doing on a Saturday for football or on a Friday, Saturday night doubleheader for basketball. It's just the same kind of production, which no one else is doing right now. No one else on the esports scene at the college level is doing this style of production at the level that the NECC is pulling it off.
Yes, sir. Little shameless plug, Jim. I love it. We are excited about the things that are happening here. I do believe we're getting very close, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we are going to have the champions final right around the corner of the Rocket League division, and an unbelievable matchup that it has been. Jim, man, can you ask for a better afternoon? A beautiful Sunday. I don't know how it is in Iowa. It's a beautiful kind of chilly day here in Kansas. I'm sure Iowa's about the same, nice. But I mean, my goodness, could you ask for a better Sunday, Jim?
Not really, no. I mean, it's a little bit chilly here, but I like it chilly, especially when I'm wearing a suit. Especially when I'm wearing a suit, I'd like it to be a little on the chillier side. About 40 degrees out there today, but the sun is shining brightly, not a cloud in the sky. My favorite kind of day. So no, it's just a beautiful day. And if you can, take us outdoors on your phone, watch out in sunshine, find a way to take your tablet, but make sure you don't miss anything this afternoon from the NECC.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We are done talking about it. The brackets have been set. The teams have been set. And don't get me wrong. You're looking at me and Jim and you're thinking, my goodness, could any casters get any better looking? Probably not is the answer to that question, but we're going to try. But we know that we have an unbelievable dynamic duo. Ladies and gentlemen, for Jim Lowry, my name is Jaron Bell, and we are going to go over to our casters. And on the call today will be Chase Neukam and my man Oliver Bass from the past. Guys, we will see you in the post-game show. For Jim and myself, we see you. Welcome to the NECC, and welcome to Championship Sunday.
Howdy, welcome, and we are here. Cameras on. And we are here. We are here, Championship Sunday, just like Jaron just said. Bass, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I mean, it's a little bit of a bittersweet moment. As much as I'm excited for this game, it's the last one of the season. I'm excited to see the action, but I am also thankful for all the action we've had previously. I mean, I don't want to take too much time here. I know you and I are both excited, and we've got some really talented folks on the field right now. IWU and Durham both having incredible seasons up until now, Chase.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We got the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed. It's what's expected in a grand finals, right? And, just like what you said, it's sad that it has to come to an end, but all good things must come to an end. This is the finale. Yesterday, we were proud enough to see the Challengers Division Finals, and today, here we are with the Champions Division Finals. And this is the top of the top talent that you can see in the NECC. And I know, just like you, I'm elated to be here on the desk today to talk about all of the brilliant plays that we're going to be seeing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've got a whole lot of high-flying action. I know we say it every single time, but in a best of 7, I mean, really, the number 1 and 2 seed should be duking it out like there is no other. If we go to a Game 7, I would not be surprised, but we'll have to find out. We will have to find out.
Not in the slightest would I be surprised either. We have 2 amazing teams going up against each other. Durham College and Illinois Wesleyan. They're going to duke it out, and I think we are actually getting into the action right now. I hear the engines revving in my ears. The cars are getting ready to go, and both teams are revving up, ready to get this started.
That they will. And as we have kickoff, we got 5 minutes on the clock. 2 teams ready to battle this one out. And before we get too into the action, Chase, I'd like to hear your opinions on who you think have a little bit of the edge here in this matchup, because this is probably the closest we've had of most of the game so far.
Having played Illinois Wesleyan, I really think they're going to take it home tonight. I have no doubt in my mind, Fletcher is an amazing coach, does some great stuff with the team. And as we see, the first goal comes out from Durham College. Vitali knocking it in off of the backboard. That was a nice shot.
It was a really nice shot and an awkward angle to try and save that one out of Mag. So as much as you're praising IWU at the moment, unfortunately, they can't quite seem to be the first one on the board, but do not count them out quite yet, folks. They've got plenty of time here, 4.5 minutes in a strong squad, which could even it up right here. Cad can't get the shot on net, neither can Mag. Both shots going wide here, IWU. Man, they're already having their chances here in the first 30 seconds, just not quite there yet, Chase.
That was incredibly close. I thought they were going to get it. And like you were saying earlier, with the personality, I love Durham talking smack on Twitter. They're not going to be the winners. They're going to be the ones with the loudest mouths. As we see Illinois Wesleyan, Mag, getting themselves on the scoreboard. Let's watch the replay.
Oh my gosh, that demo there, mighty, mighty fine on the line there, and a great shot to follow it off. And you mentioned, man, they were talking all sorts of trash on Twitter. They got the hype ready for this game. Back and forth these two teams go. So we know as much as this is the finals, it's a little bit of a grudge match as well. Both of these guys, they've had a whole lot of time here to get prepared for this game. They've got a lot that they've probably been, thinking of and planning out here. Speaking of planning it out, that shot from Volt is almost perfect to pass up to Vitali, but the follow-up shot is not as great, and the save is fantastic here. IWU, they're starting to look like they're going to be a little bit frazzled on their back half as DC, they're starting to get an offense built together here.
Wow, yeah, and they're going for another goal! Wildfire scores the second goal of the game! This pass play was insane. They took it from left side, over mid, off of Vitali's backflip, and they just back and forth that all the way into the goal. If they play like that for the rest of the series, we are going to see a Durham win.
1, 2, 3. The passing play executed absolutely perfectly. Durham's starting to feel themselves here in the first game, and I mentioned this pretty much every series. The first game's a lot of teams, trying to settle their nerves and get nice shots on net. 2 nice shots come out in a row here for IWU. This game does not seem like the average game one. Both teams, they're not only here ready to play, they are not making many mistakes. These shots look perfect. These passes look great right now. I have a feeling it's taking them no time to start up here, and we're going to see a whole lot more goals in the 3 minutes we got left.
Oh, 100%. They're coming out swinging from both teams, and it's like I said last night in the Challengers Finals, it is going to be determined on the pacing and rotations from each team to really determine a winner here.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen it before. I mean, if you don't have a clean rotation, that can make or break a game. If your defense is not as up to par as your offense, it is not going to matter. You guys have to be sound on both halves of the field, and to both teams right now, they are truly doing that as one goes flying across the field, though. IWU now back in their own half again. They do have to be careful. They've been almost counterattacked a number of times now.
Yeah, and they are guzzling through that fuel. Everyone's sitting at about 0 every time we're looking over in the air. I feel like more of this game has taken place in the air than on the ground. They have been non-stop. I don't even know how they're going to be able to get the boosts in time because they're running through it faster than it can come back up.
Not only are they running through it faster than they can come back up, but they're wasting a lot of it just trying to keep up with the pace. Like you said, speed's going to be a huge factor here, and with the fact that I was going to say that IWU have not had the boost here, but it's not going to matter. Durham making a bit of a mistake on the back half. Vitali thinking he had way more time than he did, and the missed touch out of Wildfire is going to leave the goal open. There's the equalizer. Now we've got 2 minutes left. Who's going to pull away with this one?
Wow, that was an insane fake coming out, and they juked the heck out of Wildfire. He was trying to get it out, but he was not able to. Man, Durham is coming out swinging tonight, but like we said earlier, this is still anyone's game. It's game 1, and the action is like it's game 7.
Already, they're off to a very, very strong start. Both teams making this one look like it could go to overtime, but we got 1:40 left, and the momentum's flipping back and forth here as Vitali tries to get a touch at midfield. Mag there to block it. This is back to the middle. Cad's touch out to the top could not be that great. This could be an issue here, as now you've given time for Durham to start getting boost and set up an offense, and last time Durham set up an offense, it was more than deadly.
Oh yeah, the rotate was definitely there. Volts is going to try to take a shot on goal and get the rotate, but Vitali's going to go back, try to get some defense as Zerx comes back up. Man, this midfield control is crazy from both teams, and the challenges coming out from either side is on point. Not only are they matching each other's pace, they're making sure to manage their boost in an adequate fashion as we go and just fight over this midfield control.
So far, neither team can really find possession quite yet. They're getting a little bit of control at midfield, like you said, but because of the fact that both teams are really keeping up the pace here, they're not allowing any breaks in momentum. This is a little bit of a break in momentum, though, as the bump and goal opens it up for Zerks, who has a banger from the ceiling.
Yeah, seeing two of them down in the goal too as well. I would have liked to seen someone go up and challenge that. We tried to see Volts try to get it out of the goal, but he just was slightly off, and that's going to be an IWU goal to take them in the lead, 3-1.
Absolutely, like you said, we would have loved to see someone up in the air, but good heads-up play out of DC to bump the last man on the ground, leaving only Volts in net to try and do it solo. And as a result, we've got 30 seconds left in an IWU that is looking like they're going to take the first game right now. Durham, they've got to try and pull something out. They got a little bit of time right now. They've got barely some possession here as Volts takes it to the side, but Wildfire's got no boost. What are you doing throwing this to a teammate who can't do much with it? That's just giving up the possession. With 10 seconds left, you cannot afford to do that. Volts has got one more shot here. Cad's going to make the save. This is the last chance for DC here. Durham, what can you do with this one? Out to the side, Vitaly. You got to get the touch here. He's going to keep it up. To the middle it goes. Mad can't get the touch here, but the bump in the middle is not going to leave it. IWU walking away with the first game, just barely able to hold on there at the end.
And that was an insane game one. Honestly, I thought I would see Durham take a goal there at the end, especially with Vitaly going up off the top, but no one was there to rotate because they thought that Mag was going to hit it in the air. He didn't get the touch, though, so that's going to be an IWU game one.
Indeed, it's going to be a game one for IWU. Illinois Wesleyan doing a great job here. And looking at the stat sheet, there's a little bit of a discrepancy, between the two sides. 4 saves to each side. IWU and Durham both having the same amount of saves. However, 4 more shots to everyone on IWU, who finished with a total of 10 versus the 6 that Durham had. So as it stands right now, IWU do look like a little bit more of a controlling team on their offense. Now, does that mean it's going to stay this way the whole time? Probably not. I have a feeling Durham will have some chances to try and swing the momentum, but Durham's got to get their shots up, especially for Wildfire, who finished with 0 shots on the game.
But that's the best thing about best of sevens, right? The beginning of a series does not exactly translate to what could happen at the end of a series. Game 1 and 2, the teams are pretty much just feeling each other out, trying to get a good idea of, what they need to prioritize while in game. So when game 3 kicks around, that's when we're really going to start seeing some serious competition.
Oh, yeah, you said it best yourself. The first 2 games, they're all just about nerves and starting to figure out your competition. A lot of times when we get into the second game, Chase, it's usually that it's just kind of a complete flip to script from the first one. The pace goes up a ton or it slows down a ton. The possession starts to come into play versus the chaos that is the first match. But we're going to have to find out. We got 5 minutes on the clock. 2 teams ready to battle this one out. Durham, you guys got to get a goal here. Start this one off strong because you need to even the series out here and try to take away as much momentum as you can from IWU as they rip a shot on net, though. This could not be the start that Durham wants.
Oh my gosh, that was so close. And just like you said, Bass, it's momentum. Everything about Rocket League is momentous. So if you can keep that momentum, if IWU takes another game, that's going to be much harder for Durham to come back from a mentality perspective. And like I said, from momentum perspective, wow, Wildfire blocking that shot on goal.
Oh, this one not going to get blocked. Oh, it's going to be a miss. It doesn't need to be blocked. Zerks can't get this shot on target here. Maybe this is what DC need. Maybe they just need a couple of mistakes out of IWU to get their confidence back as Vitaly almost fakes out the last defender on net. We're back to this midfield play, though. It looks a little bit like ping pong right now, and this is not how DC want to control this game.
Very true. It's looking a lot like ping pong. The ball's just going back and forth and back and forth. Another shot on goal from Zerks, but Vitaly's going to come up and knock it back out. What's crazy about these teams as well is this is not the only championship they're going to be playing in today. They're going to be playing in other series after this. So really, this is their time to get warmed up and get ready for the rest of the day. And they're going to be serious for both colleges. So I'm really excited to see what game 3 and 4 is going to look like, because game 1 and 2 is already looking crazy. We, in the last game, in the first minute, saw Durham and IWU both take a goal. Here we are 3 minutes in game 2. Neither team is being able to get any momentum because the defense is shutting it down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. These opportunities have come far and few. This one they're going to take advantage of. Zerg's barely off the post here, and Cad's going to be able to finish this one up. This is a nice pass out of Cad as well here. It would have been nice to see a shot on net with no one home, but regardless, they're going to finish it off. And Chase, I don't know about you, it looks like Durham is starting to abandon their defense just a tad.
Well, yeah, Madlak Cat throwing it in goal for that quick 1-0 in the 3-minute mark. I don't know, though. Durham has seen some pretty crazy defense shots from Vitali and Wildfire. Bolt has been on the offensive a lot more, but I'm interested to see how they change that dynamic as we progress through the series.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need to change something right now, as it does seem... Wait a minute, I was going to say, like, the defense is breaking down, but the defense breaking down for IWU here. Open net, Wildfire not going to blink twice at this one, shoots it on target. No one home. What happened, IWU?
I'm telling you what just happened. Durham came through with the dry spell, and Wildfire took advantage of the situation, evening up the score 1-1.
That's ridiculous how quickly the momentum shifts here in this game. Like we said, it's all about momentum. If you can try and run with that, or you can make a statement. Statement almost made here as Mag tries to get the redirect out towards the center. Can't quite get the shot on target. Now Vitali on the other end tries to pinch it to the center. The defense stepping up a little bit more here. They're hoping not to make another open net mistake here, but they are going to make the demos. Cad with a good demo, but it's going to be all for naught. DC going the other way here. They could start something. Vitali, slow to the ball though. This is not exactly what they were looking for. It still doesn't seem like either team have a clean possession quite yet.
It's crazy because we're seeing a lot of double commits come out as soon as a member of Lords or IWU gets up and goes in the air, another member follows up and tries to knock the touch. So we're seeing a lot of airplay go on tonight. Neither team letting up. Very close shot from Vitali. Wildfire is spreading and scoring, knocking it in for the second point of the game.
Again, though, this is another one of those open net opportunities. It's a heads-up play to try and pop that off the backboard. Vitali, I don't think he missed that at all. I think he just popped it out to try and drag Zerx out a goal, and an open net it becomes. The rotations on defense right now, they're starting to break down as everybody starts to become a much more offensive-based team.
And they need that. They desperately need to have that balance and dynamics, right? And as we see the ball go on the right side, Vitali's going to go up, try to shoot it to another member, but Zerx is going to be there. Evil Emperor Zerx taking the goal and stopping it. Oh, Cad! Not going to make it. Volt's going on the other side. Bass, what are you thinking is going to happen at the end of this game? Because we've only got a minute left.
I'm thinking at the end of this game, DC is going to realize that they need to just lock this one down. You can already see as they start to get a little bit more defensive, but as we get down past the 1 minute mark, I have a feeling it's just going to be defense, defense, defense. They're not even going to focus on another goal here because why would you? If you can win this one and try and even up the series, you'd much rather do that than risk your defense just so you can get another one on the board and try to solidify this. They're still getting the shot on offense here, but you see how the two-man rotation is all that's happening right now. They're pulling two members up, but making sure to keep a member back no matter what. And it's going to work out. Wildfire with a dunk on the line, 50-50's it. And even as I'm saying they're focusing on defense, their offense is improving too.
The best defense is an amazing offense because you're keeping the ball out of your side, right? You're keeping the pressure on IWU, and that's what Durham wants. They want to keep the pressure on Illinois Wesleyan. This game, too, is not looking very good for Illinois Wesleyan. They got 40 seconds to score 2 goals. They've got to make a play very quick.
Yeah, not only do they have to make a play very quick, they got to get a solid one as the defense, has been solid so far here for DC. The bar going to save them this time, but IWU are not quite done yet. Zerx wants the double tap. He's not going to get it, though. Just off the post, and as this one goes the other way, it's not going to be a goal, but it will be enough to at least delay it so that IWU cannot score another 2 here. 10 seconds left, and even if they are able to survive this onslaught, I think this one is all but written here. Durham going to even out the series as the clock winds down. IWU, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board for this one. Chase, what do IWU need to do now to try and flip the script?
I'm telling you what, the end of that game, the last minute from both teams, it seemed like they were driving clown cars. They were all over the place. It was rotate on rotate on rotate. Durham kept the pressure on IWU. What IWU needs to do moving forward is keep that momentum that they had from game one and the aggression that they had from game one. I will say at the end there were a couple of very, very close goals from both teams. And if they can tweak those angles just a little bit to hit them in and solidify those points, we're going to see some crazy scoring games.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is going to be a very high-flying game, or a high-flying series in general, I should really say. But one thing to note here is that the stats have started to even out a little bit more here. IWU finishing with 10 shots, Durham finishing with 11. Meanwhile, 5 saves to Durham, 7 to IWU. So stats getting a little bit closer now. Both of these teams having a little bit of a shot here to try and even it out. And if we get to about an even stat sheet where it's basically both teams spending the same amount of time on defense and offense, I might still give the edge to Durham a little bit here. They're starting to play like there is no tomorrow. Every shot is great. Every offense is great. And like you said, the best defense or the best offense is a good defense. And with how little they've let them get pushed into their own back half, it's going to be a scary series for IWU.
As we go 1-1 onto the scoreboard, we're going into game 3, and the action has been nothing short of incredible. Honestly, I agree with you, but I mean, what else are you expecting from a grand finals between the number 1 and number 2 seed, right? We're expecting to see a best of 7 carried all the way out. Wildfire spreading like crazy across this field. He has now made more goals than anyone else in this series, and he is coming out to prove his worth today.
Oh my word. It looks like such a simple touch to everyone at home who's just watched Rocket League. I hope you understand that as simple as that angle is, just that slight redirect towards the center, it's a whole lot harder than it looks. Getting that perfect power, that perfect placement. This is why DC has made it all the way here. Durham College have done a great job so far of continuing to put this pressure on. Their shots are getting better and better. And for IWU, you got to reset here. The last game was a brutal loss in which you guys went down by 2 goals, the biggest deficit so far here. You got to shake that one off. Just try and focus here. Oh, I'm playing from here on out. As this one gets dunked in front of the goal, though, it's going to be a bit hard to focus on the future if right now it's looking like you're going to get scored on.
Yeah, Vitali went in those 50s, man. He was definitely ready to get it in front of the goal. Unfortunately, there was no rotate there from Volts or Wildfire to get the goal on the end. And as we see IWU trying to take it out of their side, Wildfire said, nah, we're keeping it right over here, buddy. And trying to score right on the blue goal. But Cad's going to take it downfield. Zerk's going to go for the pass. Going to get the demo on Vitali. Wildfire coming. No one's home. Ooh, Cad the Mad Lad there to take it out the goal, though.
Just a bit of a save last second there to barely be able to hold that one off here. As Vitali makes some mistakes on the back half, Wildfire will back him up. But before I start to criticize everyone off of Durham for their defense right now, I'd like to point out that one shot we had on goal out of Wildfire, that was more or less an open net from a triple commit to get out of their own half for IWU. So we mentioned how much a good defense is going to lead to a strong offense here. Yeah, that's true, but you can't just ditch the defense once you do get into offense here. IWU looking a little bit open for the counterattack, especially as the miss comes there. Now Cad's got to be careful as he's going on the back half. If that shot had been on target, that was a goal for Durham, and this is what I was talking about. Picture perfect timing here is IWU. They got to be careful. They are leaving themselves exposed way, way too often.
Oh, 100%. And like you said earlier, this feels like almost like an anime fight. My eyes are not following up. Cad with that rotation earlier was absolutely dirty. I did not see him coming in to stop Wildfire from scoring. That was absolutely insane. As we see it now on Durham's side, trying to push back on IWU's side, making sure that this ball has full control. This is just an absolute crazy series. Volts, this ball's bouncing off the wall like insane. It's going off the ceiling constantly. Honestly, it's just a back and forth play 2 minutes and 30 seconds in to game 3.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, you mentioned this at the very beginning of the series. It's all going to be about pace and rotation here, and neither team is the one that wants to slow this down right now. They're trying to keep this as fast as possible so that neither team can get a clean possession here because, in my opinion, right now, if Durham get a clean possession where they can build an offense, they're going to score another one, and that is, disastrous for IWU. And that's even more disastrous as the own goal comes out, and Volt's going to pick up one and make it a 2-0 series, or 2-0 game, excuse me.
Yeah, that was almost kind of a flub. I know that he wanted to get it downfield. I don't know if that's quite the angle that he wanted. It does not matter. A goal is a goal. 2-0 on the board, 2 minutes left as we see Illinois Wesleyan struggling to get a footing. Cat is going to knock it out of the goal, though. Man, I'm telling you, these players are absolutely insane in this series.
Oh, yeah, everyone's performing at their peak level right now. They're definitely not making many mistakes. We see the own goal come out, but at the same time, the mistake was already there before the own goal even happened. If you notice, CAD was the last one back. They did not have a defender directly in net. He was just trying to make whatever touch he could because that one was guaranteed in if he did not. So to CAD's point there, I mean, not much you can do. Besides that, we've seen a nearly impeccable game out of both teams, but a little bit more of an impressive performance here out of Durham as they are 2-0 with only about a minute 20 left. IWU, you got to have a clean counterattack here, and you got to do it twice if you even want to try and bring this to overtime. That one almost a clean attack out of CAD, but not quite on target here. They can build an offense, Chase, but they're still not able to execute at the end.
No, 100%. And I think that's because they are going for I think they're trying to feel their fancy, right? I've seen CAD now go for 2 flip resets. And if he were to get that, that would morally just pump the team up. I know more than anything. But when you're missing shots, it doesn't matter. Wildfire coming in, spreading the flames once more. Look at that sick goal. Mag was just not ready. Like I said earlier, and like you touched on, pace and rotation is everything. And that rotate was not at the same time that it needed to be.
No, it was not. And in addition to the rotation not being there, like you said, Wildfire, when you're missing goals, it's not going to go in. But Wildfire is missing none. He's got 3 shots so far here. Oh, and Vitali's now got one on the board as well. Out of nowhere, this pinch off the ground had some oomph to it.
Like Ethan Dallin says, it's not over till the fat lady sings. But, 30 seconds left. I hear her warming up. 4-0. I don't know if IWU can come back from this one, but that's okay. That's why it's a best of 7, right? They just, after this game, if they're not able to get a goal, they need to gather their bearings. They need to talk amongst themselves and really get hype and energized for the games coming up.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, I mean, there's 20 seconds left. We'd be foolish to say that they could definitely make a comeback here. Even if they were able to get a goal real quick, they just do not have the time to try and make a 4-goal comeback. This is another game they got to just kind of wipe away. As much as they would love to try and take a win here, they are not going to. They'll take maybe a goal. No, not quite. The defense staying solid here for Durham. And they're going to win 4-0 here. Durham take the 2-1 lead after an initial win from IWU. Now here's where the momentum starts to flip a little bit. Like you said, it's a best-of-7 series. We got plenty of time for this team to turn it around, but this was a dominant performance if dominant can be used here. I mean, really impressive and solid performance out of Durham.
Yeah, Durham just, honestly, the whole game, it felt like they were barrel stuffing IWU, making sure that they had no leeway to move whatsoever. It felt like the whole game, IWU was just trying to rotate to stop Durham from getting the goals. But we did see in that game a couple of very, very, very close goals from CAD, Mag, and Zerks. Next game, truly, if they're able to tighten up and tweak those angles a little bit, honestly, this game could have been a 4-4 game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they just got to change up a couple of things that they're doing on offense and defense right now. It's minor adjustments. It's a lot to do with rotation, like you and I have been mentioning so far. But they can definitely do it. Again, the stats guy, going back to the stats, I hate to bring it up again, but this game is a flip of what we saw the first game. IWU, the first game, was extremely aggressive on offense, had a ton of shots, and they had a decent amount of saves. Walking away there were 10 shots for Durham on 4 saves, while IWU had 5 shots on 4 saves as well. So it's not really that different of a stat sheet, except for one team is taking way more time on offense and getting more opportunities. So as it stands right now, Durham, they're doing a good job of controlling the pace once again to offense. And IWU, you got to do whatever you can to stop that. You do not want to let them get comfortable in your half, or they're going to run it here in this 4th game. We're going to have to find out, though. 5 minutes on the clock here, and this is the chance for IWU to try and take away this momentum. Otherwise, they're going to have a long road. They're going to do a good job to start this here. That save on the line out of CAD, that'll at least stop the momentum for a second now as they go the other way. Chase, this is off to a spicy start.
Oh, 100%. Mad Lad Cat jumping in the ropes right there, making sure the ball doesn't touch. I really think at this point, it comes down to two things at this point. Control and aggression with the control you have, right? Where, like I said earlier, every time someone gets control of the ball, as we're seeing right here, someone else comes up to touch and make sure that the team can't do anything with that play. So if they're able to, juke and fake in a proper way, they're going to see goals, and they're going to see a lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really about switching up your offense here. As Wildfire tries to get another dunk. The dunks have been all over the place here for Durham, but for IWU, they're still struggling to find that key goal-scoring opportunity here. They're getting a couple of opportunities on offense, but again, like you said, everybody's just diving to try and interrupt right now. They'd much rather live in the chaos, especially Durham, who have really profited from this chaos. They don't need a lot of time to make a possession because they can get shots out of nowhere. Wildfire almost getting a ridiculous redirect. I mean, this is why we mentioned Durham are just so deadly once they get the ball.
You missed it earlier, but Mag and Vitali got a double demo on each other. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought you could only demo one. They demoed each other. Wildfire. Ooh, Zerx is there to stop it, though, as it took all three members of IWU to stay in goal to stop the aggression. They have got to do something. Look at that, another double demo.
Oh my gosh, these guys are just blowing each other up so that they can make sure to not have to stay in their half for too long here. IWU, that was your opportunity, though, and yet an open net that you missed. Oh no, that is heartbreaking.
Gotta be there for the rotations. You got to. And unfortunately, you got to consider other things when you're playing, right? You got to consider your boost management. You got to consider where your teammates are and when you have to rotate. So maybe it comes down to communication, something that we can't tell from the caster's desk. I don't know, but what I do know is IWU, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, being down 2 games, has to get a goal.
Not only do they have to get a goal, this is really, like, if they lose this one, the series momentum is not only entirely in favor of Durham here, but they put themselves in such a tough position where they literally cannot lose another one. This is their last opportunity to give a game away and try and give some momentum to Durham. Otherwise, they just don't have the time and breathing room here. And I mean, I don't need to say that they don't have the breathing room here. Durham have proven that for everybody as they almost get another dunk goal. And this is what I mean when I say they thrive in the chaos. They'll take a 50-50 any day of the week right now.
Oh, yeah. Both teams are taking those 50-50s. And what's funny is I see both teams faking a lot near goal to try to get the shots. I think we've seen 2 or 3 goals this series where they faked right in front of goal and waited for their teammate to follow up to bust it in. Oh!
Not quite. Chase, you and I saw that one coming through, but I mean, it's not there quite yet. Again, IWU, they still seem to be in their own half more than they are on their opponents, though. They're still having some difficulty starting to get out of their half and create a possession.
Yeah, the possession is really everything, and when you have Durham making some fancy footwork plays like that, it's very hard to determine where the ball is going to go. But I mean, just like traditional soccer, right? That's how you scored. You have to be deceptive.
I mean, not only do you have to be deceptive, you got to be clever here. There is no way that an average goal is going in right now. If this game's going to end, it's going to be something you and I either don't expect, or it's going to be something we expect, but at the highest execution. Flip reset, pass off the ceiling, pinch, something like that. Because the standard shots right now are just not making it through for both halves, as Durham has had a solid defense, but man, IWU has stepped up their defense tenfold here. They've already accumulated 7 saves here. There could be an 8th. That it will be. Mag picking up the Savior medal, 3 for himself. This is just a stellar defense right now for IWU.
It's a stalemate, right? It's an insane stalemate. Both teams have 0. We haven't seen a game like this left with 20 seconds left. The next shot, riding on everything for the series. It's 0-0. Neither team has scored. So the defense game from both sides are top notch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I say that the defense for IWU has been stellar, but we cannot take away from the few saves that we have seen out of Durham. And I say few at 4 only because the 7 on the other half, let's call it 9 on the other half. It was 8, now it's 9. I mean, this one, I don't think that this goal is getting scored right now. There's just not enough momentum. I think we're going to overtime.
I don't know. The ball's staying up. Both teams not wanting to stop. The ball's on the side of Durham. Zerk's going for the goal. It hits the ground for overtime. Oh my God.
I called it early, but I wanted to be oh so wrong there. Man, if IWU had been able to get that one through here, it would have been something special. But instead, to overtime we go. And in all honesty, I have no idea who overtime is favoring right now. The defense has been stellar for both halves. The defense, obviously, a little bit of an edge to IWU. But at the same time, the offense, a little bit of an edge to Durham. So this one about as close to a stalemate as we can get. 30 seconds gone already here, and it looks like there's no sign of slowing down.
Not at all, and they are altering the angles mid-air from their opponent's shot. This is absolutely insane. I don't know who's going to score the next goal. It's either team's shot. Cad, the mad lad, taking the shot for... I'm sorry, taking the shot for IWU, getting them on the board and a game secured.
I mean, you can see my camera before we come through. I mean, my mouth is agape right now. We mentioned the entire game about how Durham had a pretty solid offense despite the fact that, or just pretty solid defense despite the fact that they were much more offensive. But that final challenge out of Volts was just so unwise. He was the last man back. He was at midfield, and as a result, there's no one behind him. That's an open net. IWU, if you hadn't scored that, this was your series to lose. But instead, you tie it up, securing that 2-2. And now, Durham, you got to go back to the drawing board. You guys played a solid game the whole time, but the minute you got to overtime, there goes the entire script. Your defense breaks down, and you cannot afford that here in the finals.
Let me through this again. Let's look at these numbers.
Yep. These numbers, I mean, they're just uneven right now. It's crazy to look at it. Durham, 16 shots. 16 to IWU's 7. IWU didn't even have half their shots, but similarly, 4 saves for Durham in comparison to the 9 for IWU. Not even half their saves. So really, this game, it was looking like a similar script to the first one, but somehow IWU walk away with it in overtime.
Yeah, that was insane. And it was a very, very close overtime. We almost didn't see the overtime at all. But the ball hit the ground right before it went in the net. It's a story longer than ages told as we go into game 4.
Number 5 here, and we're gonna see what happens. No worries. It could be a spicy start as one's launched on the net at a wildfire. Cad's gonna have the save here. It looks like Durham might be maybe just a tad mad that they gave that last one up. You can make the save.
He didn't mean to get that angle either. That was just an unfortunate play as we watch the replay. He was trying to knock it out, hit the top of the goal. It's gonna go in.
Just unfortunate. Again, we mentioned how offense has been the specialty here for Durham, but at the same time, their defense has been solid. This is not the time, though, to start breaking down on defense. You can't give any momentum to IWU because with how few games you've got left in the series, change of momentum here would be crucial as Durham try to hold on to this game here and maybe get back their lead.
Oh, definitely. And as you can tell, you know, when you get into these best of 7s with so much pressure and so much riding on the line, that's when endurance comes into play. And you have to have the endurance to keep up. Bolts is going to score, evening it up. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. That was a great shot off of the rotate that they were trying to make. Mag quickly realized his mistake, tried to get back in goal to knock it out. Wasn't going to be able to get there in time, though.
Unfortunately not. And I mentioned this, I don't think I've had to mention it all that much this series because the mistakes have been so far and few, but a huge part of Rocket League is if you can capitalize on your opponent's mistakes. Durham being smart here, if they can try and just force mistakes out of their opponents here, they can capitalize on them quickly, but those are going to come far and few. Like I said, they can't, oh my word, rely on that as their only option because IWU, they've got a whole lot of options and they're executing to perfection.
Yeah, that was a really, really, really good rotate from Cad. If you can see the goals and if you can see the opportunity, if you see the opening, you have to take it, especially if your whole team is depending on you to take those opportunities and make those goals.
Oh my word. I mean, right now, this is starting to look like a completely different IWU team. Like you said, I mean, they're taking the opportunities and making goals when they count here. And whereas before we mentioned that their shots were a little bit lackluster, but their defense was solid, so I guess they've traded one for another. Offense has turned up the heat, but their defense has lowered as much as they can here. No one back at all for IWU here.
I feel like at this point in the series, we're seeing both teams match each other's aggression or defense, right? Last game we saw 0-0 all the way until the last couple of seconds, even going into overtime. This game, it's only been a minute and a half, and they've scored 4 goals.
It's just been chaotic here. I mean, again, in my opinion, this is where DC can really take this one. Durham, they thrive in the chaos. They've allowed 2 goals so far, but they definitely play better in the chaos than IWU. But, I mean, we're not quite sure of that one yet. We got 3 minutes left on the clock here. IWU could make me eat my words in a matter of seconds as momentum has flipped back and forth here too many times to count. As this one almost drops in, Wildfire's going to follow up. It's going to be saved by Mag here. Bolt's realizing he can't dive for it initially, so he's going to wait, take another shot, and this is where we've seen Durham be deadly. When they start to build an offense like this, they become lethal.
Oh yeah, just like they're playing an instrument, it takes so much skill to make these cars do what they're doing at this moment in time. And I'm sure I don't have to tell anyone in chat this. I'm sure everyone here is Rocket League fans. You can, you know, real recognize real, but these touches, man, it's like they're playing an instrument of their own demise.
Oh my word, that they are. Oh, and speaking of demise, WU, they're going to leave the net open on a cross court. I don't know, is this a pinch or just a shot? What happened here for Wildfire? Yeah,
I think it was a pinch. Yeah, from downtown, Wildfire smacking it in, making sure he solidifies that Durham has the edge in with 2 minutes left in this series. We're halfway through the game.
Oh my word, IWU, that is unfortunate for you guys. You played a stellar game so far here, had a little bit of issues in the chaos, but the goals you've had have been fantastic. That one from Cat just going to bring throughout the series, but it's unfortunately not going to be enough as Durham, they're starting to run away with this one.
Yeah, electrifying play from Volts. Once again, like we said earlier, saw the opportunity. Honestly, really good angle. Hit it in upper left. Not really where you're expecting from that angle, but man, great play. 4-2 now, as we're seeing Durham take this away a little bit.
Again, I mean, Durham have done this before, though. We had a very definitive win for Durham earlier here. I believe it was a 4-0 game. However, after that, though, the script got flipped pretty quickly and the momentum changed here. So even if Durham are able to take this game, it's not about just taking this one. It's about then riding that momentum into game number 6 where they could finish the series. If they give game 6 to IWU and they're able to try and bring back momentum here, it's IWU's game to win in game 7. So this is a big game for Durham, and it's a big follow-up after this. As much as these next minute and 40 is going to matter here, it's going to be about the 5 minutes after that to really determine the series.
100%, as we see Mag kind of just sitting in goal, waiting for the opportunity to come. Cad almost getting that shot. That was very, very close save. But where would we be if these weren't close saves, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's been tense back and forth here. Like you and I have said, I mean, it really just looks like both teams adapting to how the other team plays every time we get back out here. 1 and 2 seed, you're expecting it to be close. You're not expecting it to be this close where every single game is back and forth and back and forth. And at the end of the day, I really still can't pick a winner here.
Oh, no, same. It is very, very hard for me, even sitting and watching this, to say definitively, you know, hey, IWU's going to win, or hey, Durham's going to win. At the beginning of the series, I had my money on IWU, but, you know, as we get further and further, I'm not sure. I'm truly just flabbergasted by the amount of offense and defense that we're seeing from both of these teams.
They're doing a great job of executing on everything to the highest degree here. Zerx is trying to take this one out of midfield. This is IWU's chance to at least put a little bit of something on the board here. Oh, instead, it's almost a counterattack. Vitaly's not going to get the shot on, but like I mentioned, IWU, you got to put something on the board here and try to take away the momentum from Durham, who are starting to look really comfortable.
Oh, yeah, Durham is really getting into zone at this point. IWU, you know, struggling to find their footing in this game, but they've come back in this series. I say, though, in this series, we have seen Durham be a little bit more consistent.
Absolutely. The consistency is key for them right now, as IWU cannot find the back of the net here. And this is what we mean when the momentum's on Durham's half. When Durham don't even need to make every save there, and they can just know when the shots aren't on. That's really saying something about the momentum of the series here. IWU, you guys got to take this one slowly. Coming into this next game, make sure you are playing the game you want to play. Do not fall into the trap of Durham and play to their pace, because Durham right now, I mean, when we say they played comfortably, they had a total of 11 shots and only 1 save. They really didn't have to play that much of a defense, whereas IWU, 6 saves on 4 shots. They just did not have the opportunities this game.
Yeah, and you know, just like we've been seeing in this series, and like we've been saying, consistency is literally everything. Because if you're inconsistent, that can open up the door to a whole lot of more problems, right? You don't want morale issues. You don't want endurance issues. You don't want pacing issues. You don't want to start questioning yourself and getting your own head, right? And it seems like Durham is starting to play these mind games, and IWU's got to snap back into gear.
And I think they can do that. They've been a good team throughout this series. They've proven to us multiple times, not only in this series, but throughout the season, that they are resilient and ready to play. And honestly, as much as I'm happy for Durham as they're doing this, I personally just want a Game 7. I just want to see this one go to the end, because, I mean, that's where the action is. When these two teams have it all on the line, that's a game that everyone wants to see. But we're not quite there yet. IWU need to take this dub here in these 5 minutes if they want to get there.
Oh, 100%. And Durham just needs to solidify it, right? This is it.
Absolutely. This is their opportunity here. They've got to try and put this one away. Otherwise, like we said, the momentum could flip to IWU. Oh, but not quite yet, as the bump out of goal. Bolts with a follow-up. Oh, my word. What an opportunity for Durham that they just could not finish.
Oh, my gosh. That was insane. But it's just like that, right? Oh my gosh, we're seeing insane bumps come out too. It's just like that. You have to make these simple goals because they determine everything. They determine literally everything. And it may be another like 20, 30, 40 seconds before you get the ball back on the other side. So making that goal literally can determine the whole series.
Oh, yeah, especially with how close many of these series are. The last game, 2 goals, and that's, I think, the biggest, or no, not, excuse me, there was the blowout from DC, the 1 game, but besides that, that's one of the bigger leads we've seen in this series, as a lot of these in 1 goal to make the difference, and that 1 goal could be the first one out of Wildfire. There's about a minute gone, and we've got the first one on the board for Durham.
But look at this from Wildfire, right? It's like I said earlier, we've seen IWU miss some simple shots like that and hit off the backboard. Wildfire took his time, got the jump, got his angle and boosted it to where he knew it was going to go in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not about...
Oh,
no! It's about accuracy, and Vitaly also going to show that one to us as the kickoff goal comes through and slots it just past Zerks.
That was a bit of a, like we like to call a 2-second ope. When you get the kickoff and it just goes right in the goal. Yeah, that was a 2-second ope coming out from DC.
And unfortunately for IWU, that's not a 2-second goal you can afford here, as it's only a minute gone and they're down 2-0 now. We mentioned momentum. It's a huge part of Rocket League. It's a huge part of this series for sure. And the momentum all on Durham's side. IWU, you guys got to be careful. You give up another goal here, and it may be a little too late as Wildfire makes a save on the line, not allowing IWU to get back into this one quite yet, as this could be an opportunity, but if Durham is able to survive this one, the momentum is entirely on their side.
Oh, 100%. But I'll tell you what, you know what, Bass? If IWU, if any other team in the league can take this and run with it and win, I have no doubt in my mind it would be Illinois Wesleyan Esports. I know that they can flip the script here. They just have got to get shifted into the right gears. Get the pacing down, right? It's like we've been saying the whole series. You got to keep that endurance up. You got to keep the hype up. And you got to keep the rivalry and chivalry up on your team to make confident plays.
Yeah, a big part about this is the mental fortitude that these guys have. I mean, you're getting into the 6th game here. This could be, not could be, it is make or break here for IWU. And if you do not have the right mindset, it's not going to matter as another one goes off the backboard. Oh, IWU, that's another thing you got to keep up, though. You have to have the accuracy there. You mentioned how Wildfire took his time and had a beautiful shot. IWU, you guys got to start doing the same thing. Your shots right now, they just look frantic.
Yeah, and that's what it is, right? It's back to pacing. It's back to having full control over what you're doing and not freaking out. And if you're gonna hit it off the backboard, you have someone to follow up, just like Durham does. Just like that. They hit it off the backboard not once but twice as Volts pops it up, and then Wildfire goes back over to pop it up, but Vitality was there to ensure that it went in. If you're going to commit like that, you have to make sure that you're gonna get the goal.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that was a beautifully set up play all around. Wildfire realizing 2 in net. Why would I shoot this? This is just going back the opposite way. So instead, I'll pass it out to my teammate, which will give us the 3-goal lead, but only momentarily, as now a kickoff goal, this time for IWU.
Truly, too, with 2 minutes left, you do not want to be down really any goals, but you definitely don't want to be down 3 goals. So that goal could really determine the rest of this game. With 2 minutes left, they now are on the scoreboard. We got to see Illinois Wesleyan not make mistakes like that as the drip drop comes out from the Vitali himself. Said, you know, remember how that last goal was a bit of a flub? Yeah, no, we're going to get this one in, and that 3-goal lead is sticking on the scoreboard.
Well, I thought the last one was making it even between the two of them, where they both were going to get a kickoff goal to help, but apparently IWU only get 1 ZC. They're going to get 2 here, and they're going to re-solidify that 3-goal lead here. Maybe a 4-goal lead, as Vitaly tries to get another touch and shoot it on net. But unfortunately, as much as it's a great save, it's not really going to matter right now. IWU, you cannot afford to just waste time on the back half. You need to get out of your half quickly, and you need to start putting shots on net. You got a minute 45 to make 3 goals. Otherwise, that's the end of the road for you guys, and Durham will be your champions.
Yeah, honestly, you just got to tell everyone in comms, all right? We're going to try something different. You know, at this point, pull out the Hail Mary. Pull out whatever you need to, because full stops have to come out for the W. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Zerx is going to be there to stop it just in time.
And as much as that stop is great, now we're back to the same thing we saw before. Durham, they just need to waste time here. If they can just make touches that throw the defense off for IWU, that should be their goal, as they're not letting this get out of midfield. They're keeping IWU on their own half here as a fake comes out on the wall. Smart out of mag. Tally's going to be there for the follow-up because, again, Durham, they're not looking for a shot right now. They are looking to just be a nuisance. The more annoying they can be, the more time they waste.
Oh, yeah, and definitely, it's like any other sport, right, or any other game. If you're up, you don't really have to be aggressive. That was almost a crazy shot coming out from Zerx. All you have to do is, like you said, be a nuisance. Get up in their face, be annoying, and make sure that they don't have ball control.
Absolutely, and if you're going to be able to make saves like that, like Wildfire did, you really can take as much time as you need here, as you got 30 seconds left. They need 3 goals in 10 seconds apiece here, or less than that now as we get to 20 seconds. I don't want to call it quite yet, but IWU, you guys got to get a miracle here. Otherwise, Durham, they've got 15 seconds until they're champs.
Yeah, 100%. It's honestly looking like with 10 seconds left, 3 goals, it's not very possible. It may look like Durham will be your Champions Division champions for the 2020 inaugural NECC season.
Indeed, and as the ball is at 0, or as the time is at 0, the ball hits the ground. Durham, congratulations! You are our champions! The Champions Division winners. Congratulations in a 4-2 victory. Very, very well done. Really, an impressive series.
Oh, yeah, really, an incredible series. I do want to point out, throughout the series, I was making mental notes of who was winning 50s, because in Rocket League, 50s are everything. You sometimes have to slow down, make sure that your car is going to have that second touch. I don't think Vitali missed or didn't hit
Fantastic job. Oh, I think we dropped out for just a second. We should be back. Sorry about that, folks. But like we were saying, just congratulating everybody on the team. Really, really well played out of everybody on Durham. Really, really well played out of everyone on IWU. Definitely take that loss with pride, as you guys put up a heck of a series. But like we said, congratulations to Durham. And thank you guys. Thank you, everyone in the audience. Thank you, Chase, as well, for being here, my guy. We really appreciate everything that you guys have done for the season. That is the end of our Rocket League content. We're going to throw it over to our analysts. And thank you guys for being here with us.
Yes, 100%.
Oh my goodness, what a match. Look, Jim, I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Jim, Jaron Bill here. I almost said my name was Jim, and sometimes I want it to be. But Jim is here with me. And Jim, what a match we just saw. The 2020 Champions Division champion, Durham College, 4-2 over Illinois Wesleyan in a match that, Jim, I think that could have went either way.
Unmuting my microphone helps. It was really exciting watching that one. You know, Illinois Wesleyan came out, won the first round, and it's like, okay, Illinois Wesleyan's here to play. And then Durham came back, taking 2 and 3 decisively. Really, you know, brought themselves back to it. If Illinois Wesleyan ends up winning game number 2, that whole match could go a lot differently. I would like to say, no, I've known Coach Fletcher from Illinois or Director Fletcher at Illinois Wesleyan for a very long time, and he was on the Twitch chat talking a little bit both pregame and postgame. And post the game, the first thing he was saying was congrats to Durham, just a class act there out of Fletcher from Illinois Wesleyan. But let's talk about the Durham Lords and everything they did right in that series. The passing.
Wow.
Chase and Bass just going nuts about the passing, especially on that back to the goal pass play. Just like watching the NBA and watching them just have fun with the ball going down on a 2v1. And then in game 4, game 5, and I'm sorry, game 5, game 6 there, everything coming up Durham. Everything coming up Durham.
It was first of all, as a caster, don't ever say like, ladies and gentlemen, but unbelievable. Jim, I'm watching the match myself. First of all, I don't think Chase Neukam could get me any more excited. I'm about ready to run through a brick wall with that guy. But my gosh, like you just said, how about Durham's passing ability? Literally. And Vitali, one of the things, Jim, you and I talked about in the pregame, we talked about how he openly said on Twitter in post-game interviews of his semifinal match, how he said, we're going to win this. People don't belong to be with us. Now, again, Illinois Wesleyan proved that they deserve to be in this final today. No doubt about that. But how about Vitali? Listen, I have respect for a guy that stands up and says, my team is the best team here. We're here to win a championship. I respect that. But I respect you even more when you show up in the championship game and you don't miss a touch, Jim.
Oh, exactly. And not only that, I mean, he came out, first goal of the match was scored by Vitali. He came out, wanted to set the tone early, saying, nope, we're going to come get the first one. They ended up losing game 1, but Vitali coming out early, getting the first goal there. And, you know, under a minute, and Vitali just gets things started right. But yeah, and let's turn it around. Let's talk about Wesleyan a little bit. Played great defense in the majority of those games. And then coming back and getting that overtime win in a game where they had less than half of the shots that Durham had taken. And just great defense, and then just finding their opportunities. The problem for Illinois Wesleyan was Durham did not hand them many opportunities at all.
Yeah, unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, we are joined now by the 2020 NECC National Champions of Rocket League, presented by HyperX. Guys, Durham, the Lords are in the building. Guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I love it, man. I love it. You guys are always great. And again, I'd love to know my first question, Vitali, you know, my question comes to you, you know, an unbelievable matchup that we saw. Illinois Wesleyan came out and hung with you guys, absolutely, especially taking 2 games in this series, a back and forth series. There was absolute fun chatter before this game from both teams about this. I mean, did this live up to the way that you thought it was going to go today, Vitaly?
I mean, they came at us first, so we're just like, all right, we'll take it, and we'll come back. And I mean, we expected to come in here and win, and I mean, we executed on what we needed to do. So, we knew we were going to lose probably a game or two because we always lose a game or two. But at the end of the day, we always get the job done. So.
Absolutely, Jim. I'd like to refer to you. Obviously, you're here. I'm sure you have something for the team.
I just want to say, I think it was Wildfire on that full field shot. Was that game 6 or game 5? That full field shot that went in. Was that like a really big moment for you guys on defense? You see the net wide open, you put one way down, and it just squirts in there. Nobody could get to it. What was the feeling? Something like that. Did you guys feel like just you were in the driver's seat at that moment?
Yeah, because we were trying to figure out what our issue was since we lost like the few games. And I realized they would push up a lot. Third man would push up a lot, and they would just give us the ball. So I just looked for those moments to just bang it downfield into their net. And at those moments, yeah, I feel like we had the driver's seat, and we were able to just play off of it.
Well, and guys, listen, one of the things that I think is so impressive, all of you guys you've been in Vitaly said it in an interview with me. This is not a position that you guys are new to. You guys are playing competitive Rocket League at an extremely high level. And this question goes to each one of you, but does it get any sweeter, or does it lose any of the luster, or is it still pretty awesome to get to win a ship and get a trophy sent your way?
I mean, it doesn't lose any luster. I mean, it feels good to win, obviously, right? Like you never lose. It never gets old winning a league, but definitely our eyes are set on going above and beyond this as well. I think that obviously we want to take this into beating a few teams today and getting back into Zero Wildcard as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it was an unbelievable season, an unbelievable match. From the moment you guys came into this league, you were a dominant presence, and you continue to do so. And it all culminates with you being the NECC 2020 Rocket League champion. Congratulations, guys. We are going to send you over to the other voice channel for a special presentation. But from the casters, from everyone at the NECC, and of course for Jim and myself, guys, congratulations. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the spring.
Thank you guys for hosting. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Now, Jim, my goodness, what a team. What a team with an unbelievable set of skills. They proved it all year, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. They coming in here, they knew what they were getting into. They had their game plan. They stuck with it. I mean, you heard Wildfire saying the one thing they were trying to figure out is how Illinois Wesleyan was doing what they were doing. They looked in the backfield, saw nobody there, changed up just a little bit. Were able to make some longer shots, and from there, we're able to get back to playing their game, which is pregame what we talked about, just having to find a way to play your game and winning by playing your game. So with that being what we were talking about, it's nice to see somebody taking what we were saying and following through with it.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, an unbelievable win for Durham College. Listen, the Lords come in here. They get a massive victory, 4-2 over Illinois Wesleyan. Ladies and gentlemen, and Jim, we're not even done for the day. We've got more champions to crown as the Overwatch Championship. And then, of course, yourself and Ethan Dolan for the League of Legends Championship. Yelk Reb and Unicorn will be on that Overwatch call following this broadcast. But I tell you what, guys, unbelievable, and a massive congratulations. We thank all our partners here at the NECC. We will obviously continue to bring you the highest quality product. We are so extremely grateful for everyone in the Twitch chat, everyone watching at ESTV. Thank you for the opportunity. There's a lot of things that you could be doing on a Sunday afternoon, and the fact that you're taking out time to watch collegiate esports. We appreciate you from us, the players, and everyone here. I tell you what, for Jim Lowry, the NECC staff, we are going to send you over to Jacob Van Ryan, our commissioner, for a very, very special presentation. Until next time, my name is Jaron Bell. We will see you in the spring. And Jim, it's been a good time, man. And until then, stay beautiful, stay blessed. GG's, and this is the NECC Dad Bod Gods on Fleek.
Tremendous pleasure to introduce our first ever NECC Rocket League Champions Division, and with good reason. The Durham College Lords, they came in, they made their presence felt, and today you saw why they were undoubtedly the best team in the NECC. It's my distinct pleasure at this time to present the championship trophy to the Lords from Durham College. They represent the NECC up north in the great area, just northeast of Toronto, Canada. Our good friend Caleb Gluby, a native Canadian son as well. I know he's got a smile on his face. Gentlemen, huge congratulations on a well-deserved, well-played championship victory.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this league and to play throughout the season and get all the way here to the championship.
We will be in touch. We'll get you this in the mail. We'll get up as soon as possible. We'll get you your gear. We'll get you the shirts. We'll get you everything in the mail. Guys, keep it rolling. Get a few more dubs. Keep it going. And once again, congratulations. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the future.
Thank you.
Be well. Congratulations once again. So that'll do it for this cast. Obviously, Durham takes our first NECC championship on this championship Sunday, the first of three. Remember, at 4 o'clock, Overwatch, top-seeded Boise State taking on second-seeded Midland. That should be a thriller. That's at 4 o'clock. We'll be on with that one, and then we cap it off this evening, 8 p.m., with some League of Legends action as Illinois Wesleyan will try to get one championship victory today. We saw them fall earlier today, but they'll take on Midland in our nightcap in that one. So a terrific day of championship action and a great way to start it off as the Lords from Durham College take our first ever NECC Rocket League Champions Division championship title as they outlast a very game Illinois Wesleyan team by a final score of 4-2 in that best of 7 series. We'll talk to you soon, about half an hour, give or take, as we get set for, not again, do the math, about an hour and a half, my goodness. How about that? So you got some time, grab a snack, grab some lunch, whatever you got to do. We wish everybody who's playing the rest of the day best of luck as they go forward, and we will see you just over about 90 minutes from right now as we get set for some Overwatch action. That'll do it on behalf of everyone that made this broadcast possible. Jacob Van Ryan saying so long. We'll talk to you in the future right here